Także
Za
muszę
chwilę
zobaczyć sobie
będzie
rozpiskę.
Amazing Adventures of Captain Spirit i to też trzeba ogarnąć. Zobaczmy.
Że o
w
tutaj
opisie.
będzie?
Tak.
Ale ja już zatrzymam
Kiedy?
streama. Zaraz, ja muszę zobaczyć, bo co będzie następne z tych ważnych rzeczy dzisiaj, a nie jakichś takich pogier, które już niedługo będą za darmo.
Nie obracaj!
Dobrze. Aha, do Cyberpunka następnego mamy 2 godziny. No powiedzmy 1,5.
A tutaj pokaż jeszcze opis.
Tak, co my tu jeszcze będziemy mieli? Będziemy mieli przygody tego, później jakiś Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Meh.
Czyli teraz już? Weź, zobacz.
No tak, dobra, to w takim razie możemy oglądać dalej. Możemy oglądać, myślę, że ciekawie będzie posłuchać o tym. Myślę, że źle nie zrobiłem, że zatrzymałem, tu pewnie i tak oni jeszcze nie zaczęli rozmowy, bo jest przerwa. Także akurat przynajmniej sobie przewiniemy kawałek i za chwilę powinniśmy usłyszeć coś. O, jest ten pan, co gadał w trailerze.
Pokaż jeszcze ten opis.
Jaki opis? Dobrze,
Ten,
już
wiesz,
pokazuję.
czy ty jeszcze jesteś.
No i jeszcze ewentualnie miałem być ciekawy The Division, to jest pierwsze 20.
A, nie.
Czyli to będzie jeszcze chyba przed, tak? To będzie przed? To była 21, czyli to jest 22. Tak, czyli The Division będzie jeszcze przed, to my się będziemy mogli tutaj wrócić o 22:20, czyli za godzinę.
Ja już po tym sobie zniknę na
Ale
chwilę
Division?
i wrócę na Cyberpunka.
Nie, Forza nie. Forza to raczej nie będę oglądać, raczej mi to nie jara.
Bo i nie zabraniamy przecież wam oglądać. Wy sobie jak najbardziej możecie przejść, tylko chcecie.
Dokładnie. Ja nawet będę mógł zostawić
Tak.
to, żeby to sobie leciało w tle tak naprawdę, bo pewnie zrobimy jakąś przerwę. I ja jeszcze tak, kto tam dalej będzie? Dalej chyba będzie IGN. IGN szczerze nie wiem, gdzie będzie streamować, także...
YouTube chyba.
A na razie posłuchajmy sobie tego.
I'm Mike, here with Lucy.
Hello.
We'll be here all week, and we are about to talk about the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit. We're here with Michelle, co-game director. How you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you. It's awesome to be here at History to present Captain Spirit. We're extremely happy to be able to show what we have been doing for a long time now, because for the past 2 years we've been working on Life is Strange 2.
Yeah.
And we will talk about Life is Strange 2 soon in the coming months. But here we're showing.
No czyli potwierdzili chyba właśnie w tym momencie pracę nad Life is Strange
I już
2.
potwierdzili wcześniej, wiesz, ale jako, że w najbliższych miesiącach znów się trochę mokro zrobiło. Zobaczymy.
Mi nie aż tak mocno, bo ja aż tak bardzo się nie jaram Life is Strange,
Ja
ale
jestem
spoko.
też psychofanem Life is
For the
Strange.
players to what Life is Strange 2 will be. Because if you play, search in the game, look for clues, there will be definitely hints and clues to the characters, the setting, and what will be Life is Strange 2.
Did you know before you set out to start Life is Strange 2 that you were going to do this kind of prologue, so to speak?
So, no, we didn't know at first. The way we create games with Raoul Barbès, the other creative director, is that we like to think of the story, the characters, and while we were working on this big story that you will experience in Life is Strange 2, there was some...
Znaczy ten się pan bardziej znał, ja szczerze nawet nie widziałem Before the Storm, bo chciałem bardzo zagrać i w sumie jeszcze tego nie zrobiłem.
To jest spin-off, to też jest spin-off. 2 to będzie pełnoprawny sequel do Historii Max.
Aha.
Chyba do Historii Max, tego jeszcze nie wiem.
Ale
Na pewno po zakończeniu jedynki, o.
I was going to say, and it's free as well. So how, like, and even looking at the trailers, you're like, it's free. It will always be free.
Yeah.
How important was that for you to get players on board?
So we're extremely happy that we are able to give this gift for free to the players, because it's really a full contained experience. So there is a beginning, there is an ending, and definitely if you didn't play Life is Strange 1, if you don't want to play Life is Strange 2, it's still okay. You will experience really this story, those characters, and hopefully you will find that it's a great experience by itself. But of course, it's also, there is a lot of small secrets and nods to the first Life is Strange. So for the fans of Life is Strange, they will find some elements that we hope they will be happy with. And if the players love Captain Spirit, we hope also that it's a way for them to bring them to want to try Life is Strange 2 later.
Right.
We also think that, you know, the narrative experience, narrative genre is something that sometimes the players, you have some players who think, this is not my sort of game. So if you give something like this for free, maybe they can try it, and I don't know, maybe some new players will see that it might still be interesting to play those kind of games, and maybe they will want to see more with the other Life is Strange.
Right.
Can you talk about the character we'll be playing as?
Yeah. So in Captain Spirit, you're playing as Chris, who is a young kid he's almost 10, and he has a really vivid imagination. And basically, you're playing on this Saturday morning. It's almost Christmas, and he has a lot of free time because his dad is just watching a basketball game, and you can do basically whatever you want on this Saturday morning. So it's some sort of a small narrative sandbox where you can, for example, decide do you want to play with your toys in your room, do you want to help your dad with cleaning the house or stuff like that, do you want to go outside and play with snowballs or go to your treehouse. And for us, we hope that it's a way, there is a lot of replay value because you can definitely miss a lot of things in your first playthrough. There is some sort of a timeline, so if you're not at the right moment, at the right place, you will miss some elements that you might want to experience again. And the idea is that Chris is using his imagination. He loves to think he's a superhero. He somehow uses imagination to escape the day-to-day life and some of the darker issues he might be facing. This is really the core theme of the game. So how imagination is a power by itself to somehow get better with your life and escape some of the difficulties of what's around you.
Yeah, so we saw in the trailer, obviously, Chris's dad is drinking, and he's like, I'm not going to be lectured to by my son. Is it just going to be the relationship with his dad that's going to be explored? There was a mention of his mother.
So that's also the goal of the story, is that by pushing the player to become Captain Spirit and go into this kid's imagination, you will discover much more of the reality of Chris, of his father, of the family. And there is hints everywhere, like in the first Life is Strange, where you can just explore the environment and discover documents later. So you will definitely, if you're looking, get to know what happens to his mother, why his dad is drinking and stuff like that. But it's really up for the player to decide how he wants to explore this and what kind of information he wants to get. Or if he just wants to stay in his room and play, that's also something he can definitely do. We hope that the players will really love to explore all this and find the different paths and the different also imaginary worlds that you can explore.
I'm curious.
Czyli będziemy mieli semi-otwarty world chyba znowu.
Abilities you get to explore. I mean, it's almost like limitless, right, with his imagination.
So in terms of gameplay, it's still a Life is Strange game. So
Sure.
you are exploration, interactions, dialogue, and a lot of environmental storytelling. But since Chris thinks he's a superhero, there is also this new mechanic where on several interactions you can just press the trigger and play with his superpower. So some are quite simple, where you can just, go to the fireplace and just imagine that you're making fire out of your hand. Like, I mean, as a kid would pretend, and I think we all did that at some moment to just imagine we were making things fly or stuff like that. But there is also moments on the gameplay where you can go much more deeper into your imagination and visit those kind of parallel universe, which are imaginary worlds, which some will be easier to find than others in the game.
So obviously Max in the original Life is Strange had the ability to rewind time. What other powers were you looking at when you were developing Chris? Like you were saying that it's the powers that people imagined they would have as a kid.
Yeah, it's basically the power of imagination,
Yeah.
and we also have to play the story to discover what's more about it. So of course I cannot say everything about it. It's around, I would say it's around 2 hours of gameplay, but there is a lot of replay value. So definitely it's a game that has been designed to be played a bit several times. We also had in mind the community, that a lot of different players would have different experiences they could share together online on the social networks. So there is, I would say it's more than 2 hours, but depending on how you play it, it can be a bit less, it can be way more. And there is definitely ending and some secrets that you will find that I cannot tell about today.
So obviously Life is Strange took place in Arcadia Bay. Where are we going to be geographically?
So Captain Spirit takes place in Oregon, in a new small town called Beaver Creek. It's not too far away from Arcadia Bay. It's like much more in the east of Oregon, near the mountains and the forest. And yeah, if you look hard enough in the game, you will definitely find some hints and links with Arcadia Bay. Or
If we look hard enough, we'll see a lighthouse just on the distance.
Oh, maybe the lighthouse is too far away.
What was it that made you? Why like the power of imagination? Why Chris? When like I mean, obviously you have your characters established in Life is Strange, and you have characters people are expecting to see in Life is Strange too. What was it that pulled you to this? What you said, like 9-year-old boy, almost 10-year-old. What is it about that point in his life that you thought supplemented the Life is Strange story so well?
I think it's a good question, but the way we are creating our games is, for us, Life is Strange is about relatable characters that are really anchored in real life, and where we can use their normal existence and experience to also talk about some social subjects, some darker themes that are interesting for us. So we dealt with a lot of those themes in the first Life is Strange. And when we were working on Life is Strange 2 and on Captain Spirit, we were also thinking what kind of new characters and new situations we want to bring to the community to also give some light on those new themes and new situations we wanted to talk about. And since we've all been kids at a point, having this story about what it is to be a kid somehow just by himself, quite lonely, and with his dad not really taking care of him, it's something that's interesting to see that how kids can overcome loneliness with the imagination, but also because it's also a great way to talk about those issues of loneliness, of even of alcoholism with the dad. And I won't spoil all the themes we are dealing with, but we always try to find the great characters and the good story to talk about those themes. And there is links with what you will have in Life is Strange 2. I cannot explain what those links are, but definitely why we did choose this as a reason for Life is Strange 2.
And one of the things you do, and what I really loved about Life is Strange, is the way that the emotional beats were backed up with music, whether it be licensed or whether an original score. What are you doing for Captain Spirit?
So you've heard in the trailer, there is one song in the trailer from Sufjan Stevens. I think the song is called Death with Dignity. It's in the trailer and it plays a quite important part in the game, where you will hear this song in the introduction in different story moments. And of course the lyrics were important for us in a way that you will understand when playing the story. There is two other licensed tracks in Captain Spirit that you will have to discover, and we're really happy to have those because one of them is from a French artist we really like, which is also important for us as a French studio to try also to push sometimes French artists that we really like. Yeah.
What's been the studio split working on Captain Spirit and working on Life is Strange 2?
So it's really the same team working on Captain Spirit and Life is Strange 2. It's really a common development. I mean, we were working on both at the same time. It's the same new engine, same technology. So it's really a side story that we are really crafting at the same moment. And so the team is the same team that worked on Life is Strange 1 at Dontnod. There are other teams on the studio working on other projects like Vampire or Twin Mirrors, but the team on Captain Spirit and Life is Strange 2 is really most of it the same team as the first Life is Strange.
Yeah, the studio has so many projects in the works. What is it like, like coordinating all that?
I think the team are quite separate, so it's more of having multiple different teams, and we are of course using Unreal Engine 4 for all of the projects, so we can still share some knowledge and some advance on the technology, but overall it's really different directors and writers for all of the different teams.
Right.
What's been the biggest challenge in creating Captain Spirit?
I think the biggest challenge is writing for a kid, trying to make it believable, because we were all kids, but we were kids like 20 or 30 years ago, depends of the age of the guy in the team. So having a kid nowadays the game takes place in 2016. So we need also to make a lot of research. The big challenge was to find the good actors for motion capture and voice actor, and we are extremely happy of the two kids we found. That also they themselves brought a lot to the characters. I mean, when we go to voice recording sessions, each time I make sure that the kid playing Chris is also reading the lines, and I let him adjust them if they feel weird for him.
Yeah.
Because even if we try our best to document ourselves, to make sure that we write them in a believable way, it's still better to have a kid proof check what you did right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, when can people get their hands on the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit?
Sorry?
When can people play? When can people play
Oh, okay,
the awesome
sorry.
adventures of
So
Captain
people
Spirit?
can play it on the 26th of June
Great.
on Xbox, PS4 and PC, and it's completely free, so I hope that a lot of players will try it and hopefully enjoy it.
Czyli jak rozumiem, to
Awesome.
nie
Well,
jest
Michelle,
taki
thank you so much for joining us on stage and have a good rest of your E3 week.
Wspominał o tym, że będzie to dziś gameplay na 2 godziny z możliwością wielokrotnego przejścia, będzie sobie pewnie otwarty świat, czyli nie wszystko zobaczymy w pierwszym podejściu. I końcówka była dziwna, bo ten gościu, on w ogóle strasznie niewyraźnie czasami mówił... ja przez chwilę miałem wrażenie, że on jest Niemcem, miał jakieś takie naleciałości jakby z niemieckiego. Chodzi mi o to, że nie wiem jak on nie zrozumiał when can we play, jak sam mówił strasznie ciężko, ja go naprawdę czasami szczerze nie rozumiałem.
Ja jestem zajebiście podekscytowany na samą grę, mam bardzo duże oczekiwania, ale myślę, że się nie zawiodę. W końcu to jest Dotnot i no ja pokładam w nich swoje nadzieje.
Dokładnie. Dobra, to słuchajcie, jeśli chodzi o to, to kończymy. Ja już odpaliłem wcześniej tutaj IGN, gdyż kolejny w kolejce jest IGN i kolejny to właśnie IGN będzie pokazywał Cyberpunka. Na razie jeszcze tutaj nic nie jest zapowiedziane, ale na pewno to miało być, bo to już zostało ogłoszone. Tutaj chyba będę wybierać teraz najlepszą konferencję, tak więc sobie posłuchajmy opinii na temat konferencji, chyba że chcemy zrobić przerwę.
Nie, posłuchajmy jeszcze.